This is Triadvisors, and I'm your host, Rob Vary. So before we begin, I'd like to set up the schedule, sort of tentative schedule, I would say, but hopefully this is what'll stick. So as I hope you saw in the announcement yesterday, the show will now be Tuesdays and Thursdays, and that means it'll be 2 videos a week. So my plan for the actual content of these videos is on Tuesdays, I'll take advice from you guys, you people that were in triads. I'll take your advice, and once I do, that's it. You're a Triadvisor. Now, that doesn't mean there's a long-term commitment. Keep that in mind. No long-term commitment. But I will keep you in mind if I have any questions that come to me that I don't think I can personally handle. And hopefully, I will be able to put the questions out there so that anyone who has advice on it that has been in a triad can send their advice in, and they'll also become Triadvisors. So when I do that, I will give your name, whatever name is either in your email or your username or whatever I have that you sent me. You're essentially, by sending me email, giving me permission to use your name to say that it's your advice that you gave to me to share with everybody. And then on Thursdays, I plan on doing a segment I'd like to call Triad Stories. Now, I thought of this because a couple of you have sent me email messages with your experience and basically your triad story. So what I hope to do is share your story so others can learn from it. Now, your story could be how your triad failed, how your triad is a success, how your triad did after the process, setting up your triad. Any point in the process, I'd love to share your triad story. And now, advice from you guys. So on my first video, What is Triadvisors?, I actually got a comment with advice right away. And that comment came from YouTube user TorlexBlog, who I happen to know is also Torterra Oats on the southpoleofthemoon.com forums, the Pogo tribe. And his advice was mainly about setting up your triad right when you start. He says as soon as you get a triad, don't wait. Contact your other triad members, get it set up, and start getting to know each other. Now, I hope he eventually saw my advice on that about getting in contact and being available, but he wants to stress that you need to use any means necessary to contact your triad members if they have not contacted you. Take the initiative. Do it. And he says finally at the end of his message that if you don't try, you will fail. So keep that in mind. Very good advice. Thanks, TorlexBlog. Okay, now our other piece of advice, and I apologize if I'm saying your last name wrong, but I don't know, we'll see, comes from southpoleofthemoon.com user lizvallish. And she says that you, as members of a triad, should be using Skype right away. You should use it to talk to each other, and use it to become best friends. Now, sure, that might not work out, you might not become friends, but she says, why not try? Because when you become friends with someone, you find out stuff about them, you find out their skills and talents, and that can come in handy when you're creating a project. Because what better way to create a great project using all your skills and talents than by knowing all the skills and talents because you guys are already friends. And of course, in becoming friends, wouldn't you want to still talk to each other after your project is complete? You will, if you're friends. That's all I'd like to share for this week. Keep sending your advice to triadvisorshost@gmail.com. Send your advice, your experience, your stories, and they'll either be used on the Tuesday show, Sharing Advice, or the Thursday show, Triad Stories. I'd love to hear your triad stories about success, failure, what you think worked, what could work, and your advice on problems you dealt with. Also, I'd like to open it up for the YouTube comments down here below, questions that anyone has on being in a triad or running the triading process. I'd love to take those questions and share them with people so that we can get a nice panel going on answers to your questions. I appreciate your viewership, and remember, if at first you don't succeed, try it again.